I never would have imagined that, after 14 years of matrimonial bliss with my beloved wife, I would find myself in such a predicament. Now, it all feels like a bad dream, and I even recount my tale with a chuckle, since I've moved past it. Avery and I crossed paths at my best friend's nuptials. She stood out as a bridesmaid, a lively and charming young woman who quickly captured my heart. The most vivacious bridesmaid drew the attention of numerous suitors at the celebration, but I proved to be the most determined, and Avery chose me. A couple of months into our whirlwind romance, we discovered that she was expecting. I was head over heels for her and instantly stepped up to the plate, proposing without hesitation. She said yes, and we tied the knot. All in all, it played out just as it should. We built a fulfilling life together, raising a daughter who blossomed into a smart and stunning young lady. People would often comment on how she was truly Daddy's little girl, which, of course, filled me with joy. My daughter's affection was a source of warmth that filled my heart. Avery, like any other family, had minor quarrels, but nevertheless our reconciliations were even more delightful. I've never had a tendency to cheat, and it never even occurred to me. My affection for my wife satisfied all my needs, and it was enough for me in every sense. So I couldn't even bear the thought of my Avery betraying my trust. It was in this happy and seemingly perfect union that we lived together for 14 wonderful years. I've been grinding away at the plant for quite a few years now, cycling through countless day and night shifts. On this particular occasion, I was on for another night shift. At that time, we had a new intern working under my wing, a sharp and clever youngster who caught on remarkably quickly. He dug deep into the nuances of the job, tackled his responsibilities with gusto, and consistently went above and beyond what was expected of him. After our routine patrol of the premises, we both headed to the lounge to thaw out with some hot tea. The biting cold of the outside made even the heated room seem slightly chilly. Sighing, I said wistfully, "Oh, I'd give anything to be snuggled up in a warm bed with my sweetie right about now." "Then why not head out, Henry?" the intern retorted. "You've seen what I can do. I've got this covered. Don't worry about a thing. And on top of that, according to the schedule, there's just one more round to go today, and it's even in the morning." The idea of being able to delight my sweetheart and snuggle up in a warm, cozy bed within 30 minutes brightened my spirits. Moreover, we've truly wrapped up all our tasks, and for the next few hours, we'll merely be lounging around by the radio. For better or worse, I accepted the young one's invitation and set off homeward. It was early spring outdoors, and the nights still carried a refreshing chill. I had been tinkering with my old motorcycle all winter, and after a short half-hour ride, I found myself at my doorstep. The gate was shut, but not secured, which threw me off a bit. And when I spotted a light gleaming in the summer kitchen, a structure separate from the main house, my anticipation intensified. Certainly, I distinctly recalled that as I departed for work, not a single light was aglow in the ancillary structures. It was my ritual to manually switch off each one and securely fasten the gate with a key. Consequently, when I set off for work, there was no doubt in my mind that my family was safe and sound. With every step closer to home, however, my unease intensified. The absence of any illuminated windows at home only heightened my worry. Seizing a shovel handle that lay beside the porch, I made my way to the summer kitchen. My plan was to wedge the door shut from the outside, then peer into the narrow gap left at the entrance to discern what mysteries lay within, all the while gripping the handle tightly. Naturally, my mind was a whirlwind of thoughts. What I eventually encountered inside was utterly unexpected and took me completely by surprise. My beloved Avery, she was with another man. This discovery struck me like a sudden electric shock. For a moment, I froze in disbelief. How could this even be true? The loud sighs and moans of the unfaithful spouse brought me out of my stupor. I tapped on the window with the end of the shovel, wanting to catch a glimpse of a face distorted by shock and fear. The exact details of that chaotic moment have since been erased from my memory, but I clearly remember how this couple was frantically fussing, hurriedly pulling on clothes, and trying to hide behind the door. But the doors were securely fastened from the outside. They glared at me, and I made a cutting gesture at my neck, then made my way to the door. As I fiddled with the lock, they had already dashed out of their lover's nest through a second-story window, clad in nothing but their mother's clothes, leaping about the garden. I entered the home and wandered to my daughter's room. She was softly snoring, and tears sprang to my eyes. After a moment's pause, I attempted to muster the right words to explain where her mother had gone. However, my daughter intersected with a revelation that took me aback. She bluntly mentioned she was fully aware. She disclosed this wasn't the first instance of strange men visiting her mother. Tears trickled down her face as she confided. Her mother had sternly warned her not to breathe a word about it to anyone. The wife vanished for months on end, showing little to no concern for her child's well-being. Then, out of the blue, she decided to reappear, thinking that some time away would allow me to forgive her. However, both my daughter and I had no intention of welcoming her back. We had already packed up her belongings long ago and wished her nothing but the best on her way. Fast forward a year, and I crossed paths with a wonderful woman who also has a daughter, slightly younger than mine. The connection among our three girls was instant, and now I find myself part of a resilient new family. Meanwhile, my ex-wife continues her whirlwind of relationships, hopping from one man to the next, caught in a never-ending cycle of romantic escapades for the past several years. I catch wind of her current situation through conversations with her sister, who happens to be our daughter's godmother. How she reached this place in her life, and how she managed to forsake a child, is a mystery I doubt I'll ever fully grasp or make peace with.